Year 8, Elements, Mixtures and Compounds, Week 5. What happens to a metal when you heat it up? At the start of this theme, you came across the idea that all things are made from tiny particles that are so small that they cannot be seen. You first came across this idea in Year 7 in a theme called Classifying Materials. Some of these tiny particles are atoms. A piece of copper is only made of copper atoms. Copper is an element. Some of these tiny particles are molecules. Water is made of molecules. You may remember that water molecules are made of 2 hydrogen atoms and an oxygen atom joined together. The particles in solids, liquids and gases are put together in different ways. It is possible for a solid material to become a liquid if it is heated up. We call this melting. The particles in the solid come apart and they are then free to move around. In some materials, like wax, there are only weak forces holding the particles together in the solid, so wax has a low melting point. In other materials, like most metals, there are strong forces holding the atoms together. This means that most metals have very high melting points. It takes a lot of energy to make the particles come apart. Sometimes, before atoms start to melt, the atoms in the metal have enough energy to join up with oxygen atoms in the air. We say that the metal reacts with the oxygen. This happens with copper. When copper is heated, the outside layer reacts with oxygen in the air to form copper oxide. The copper oxide forms a black, crumbly layer. Copper oxide is a compound made of copper and oxygen atoms joined together. When magnesium is heated in air, it reacts quite violently with the oxygen and magnesium oxide is made. The magnesium atoms join up with the oxygen atoms. Magnesium oxide is a white powder. It is a compound made of magnesium and oxygen atoms joined together.